To sweet freedom.
Oh, you do know how to dodge a bullet, Julian.
Oh, well. You needn't sound so surprised, Harper. I'm Julian Crane. I'm master of the universe. Far be it from me to toot my own horn, but I have better than parried each and every thrust my adversaries aimed my way. I have overcome each and every obstacle placed in my path with resounding success. I made sure Luis didn't marry into the family, so he couldn't uncover any unsavory secrets.
Like having your own sister murdered?
There's no need to rehash unpleasant details, Harper. Suffice it to say, I carried out Father's orders, after which I legally unloaded my dismal excuse for wife.
Ivy is still contesting the legality of your divorce.
Well, she can contest it till the cows come home. My marriage to that ungrateful wench is fini. And on top of that, after the signing today, my brief but oh so delicious marriage to Teresa has been annulled, so I'm free from the wrath of her brother Luis and my ex-son Ethan. My only regret is that my decidedly unchilly Rieno and I didn't get to partake in a second night of bliss before we had to part ways. But a man cannot be too greedy. God, I'm a free man for the first time in I don't know how many years, with no legal obligations to any woman. God, just think, Harper, of the hundreds, nay, thousands of women out there just waiting to audition their acrobatic skills in my California king-size bed.
Have you forgotten about Rebecca? She expects you to marry her.
Oh, yes. Rebecca. Well, I'm not going to do it. I won't. I'm rich. I'm king of the world. I'm not about to blow it all by getting married.
The hell you aren't. You promised to marry me, and there is no way that I'm gonna let you weasel out of it now.
Nice to see our Diana so happy for a change.
Wish I could say the same thing about Brian. He wouldn't be sailing that boat back to Harmony if Diana hadn't talked him into it. If it were left up to him, he wouldn't go anywhere near that place.
Did he tell you why he had a problem with going?
If he did, it wouldn't be fair for me to tell you, would it, Doc? You know the unwritten law around here.
We respect each other's privacy. No one pries into anybody's old business.
Which is how we all get along so well, right?
Works for me.
Me too. But I can't help but think that Brian's old business has something to do with that little New England town called Harmony. There is something or someone there that he is not eager to face.
Luis.
You okay? Just can't stop thinking about Sheridan.
Man, the woman you loved was snatched out of your arms with no warning. I mean, I'd have the same reaction, I'm sure, if that happened to me.
I keep hearing her voice. You know, it's like she's talking to me. It's like she's trying to tell me that she's still alive.
You know, eventually, you're gonna have to let it go. I mean, people only come back from the dead in Stephen King novels. Luis. Sheridan is gone.
I really hated that Pilar's so upset.
So do I. Whatever's upsetting her must be quite serious. And And I intend to find out exactly what it is.
I must do what I must do. If Mama tells Ethan that I'm pregnant with Julian's child, I will lose him forever. Whitney, he has forgiven me so much already, but he would never be able to deal with this.
For once, I'm afraid that I agree with you, Teresa. It would take a miracle for you to get out of this one.
Maybe, your Mama can convince Mama not to say anything.
I wouldn't count on it, Teresa. From the looks of your mother, I don't think anything is going to change her mind.
Believe me, Pilar, I understand. Then, Eve, then why are you trying to keep me from telling Ethan the truth? If my daughter doesn't have the courage to be honest with the man she loves, then I will have to do it for her.
Even if it's the last thing in the world that Teresa wants?
My daughter's in shock. She's confused. And it's no wonder after finding out she's pregnant by Julian Crane. Eve, I am Dennis's mother, and God help me, the grandmother to be of that innocent unborn baby she's carrying. It is my duty to protect them both by putting an end to all the lies and deception.
Okay, but if you could just give Teresa a little more time.
What more? What good will that do, Eve? Time will only bring more hurt to more people. The truth has to be told now.
I would hold the hand of the one who could lead me places, and kiss the lips of the one who could sing so sweet. And I would fly on the wings of the bird I knew could take me highest. Breathe in, breathe out. You keep me alive. You are the fire burning inside of me. You are my passion for life.
I made it myself.
Oh, I'm impressed. What's the occasion?
My good mood. Been such a downer since I got here. I thought I would do something for you for a change.
You didn't have to do that.
Yes, I did. Thank you for changing your mind about sailing to New England. I can't wait to see Harmony.
Yeah, but you don't know if you've ever been there before.
True. But it's the first town I've heard of that actually strikes a familiar chord. I mean, I don't know why, but I just have this feeling that if I see the town, it might jog a memory. I mean, I might even remember who I am.
I just don't want you to get your hopes up too high.
I know, they've crashed before, but this time I think there's a real chance. So, when do we set sail?
Haven't got that far yet.
Well, whenever you say the word, I'm ready. How long do you think it'll take to get there?
Depends on the weather.
I mean, do you think days, weeks, what?
I don't know, Diana.
Sorry. Didn't mean to push so hard.
No. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to snap at you.
What's wrong? Have you changed your mind? Do you not want to sail to Harmony now?
I cannot sit by and keep silent about one more secret or one more lie. But your daughter's future is at stake. Future? What kind of future can be based on a deception such as this? I'm sorry, Eve. I'm sorry to go against your well-meant counsel, but I have to do this.
Ma, what is it?
Oh, she's fine, Louise. She's fine.
I appreciate your help, Dr. Russell, but she is my mother. Whoever it is, I have a right to know what's wrong.
What's going on with your mother?
Yes, Teresa. Do tell.
I don't know.
That's all right. If you don't know, you don't know.
Pilar's usually the one who keeps it together when the rest of the world is falling apart. Whatever's upsetting her must be earth-shattering.
Well, the only other time I saw Pilar this close to hysteria was at the hospital. I got back from Bermuda. I didn't know what was behind it then, but now I realize it's probably when she learned you and Julian were married. But I have to tell you, this is even worse. I mean, whatever's caused her to be this upset must be terrible.
Mama, I've never seen you in such a state. Now, would you tell me what happened?
So it's true, huh? You're pregnant with Julian's baby.
It's awful. But yes, it's true.
Oh, Mio. If you only knew.
Mom, you've got to get it out, all right? Nothing can be so bad that you can't tell me what it is.
Now, my little creme brulee. There's no need to get yourself in a twist.
Don't even think you can sweet talk your way out of this one, Julian. You were gonna marry me whether you want to or not.
Dear heart, we're soulmates. Surely you can understand why a man such as myself might feel as I do. I only just ended 2 marriages within a matter of weeks. I haven't been single since I was a young man. Can't you see why I'm keen for a bit of breathing room?
If you're keen about breathing at all, make me your wife as soon as possible. I have given up a lot for you.
What, divorcing Jonathan? You never gave a damn about that old goat. We both know that's how you refer to your ex-husband.
When I left Jonathan, I gave up my status as his wife because I'd be climbing up the ladder by becoming yours. Now, there is no way that I have stuck with you through thick and thin for nothing.
Well, our relationship can hardly be described as nothing, and we've had some very unusual adventures in bed. Grow up, Harper. I know what has you upset. You're afraid that our naughty, nocturnal frolics must come to an end. Well, nonsense. We can still keep each other satisfied and happy without the little piece of paper known as a marriage license. So you see, Bags, there's no need to get into a snit.
Oh, well, if that's really what you want.
I knew you'd see my side. You are a hell of a woman.
I just have this one tiny little question.
Oh, anything, Cupcake?
Just how do you think Luis would feel if he found out that Sheridan's death wasn't an accident?
Excuse me?
Well, what do you think he would do if he found out that the explosion on his boat was caused by a hitman that was hired by you, Sheridan's own brother?
You wouldn't.
Well, I just wonder what he would think was an appropriate punishment for, oh, such a heinous crime. Well, being a burly young man, he'd probably want to tear you apart, limb from limb. Oh, but then he is a cop. So he might feel that it was his duty to just turn you over to Sam Bennett, so you could stand trial in a court of law for Sheridan's murder. Oh, you know, Sheridan was such a special woman. Oh, everybody loved her. Oh, and everybody hates you, so there's no doubt you'd get the chair. You've made so many enemies, they'd have to throw a lottery to get to see who'd throw the switch. Maybe I'd win. Oh, I'm sorry. Now, what were you saying about not wanting to get married?
Are you hurt? Did someone do something to you? Look, for God's sakes, Mama, tell me so that I can do something about it. Mama, listen. If you don't tell me, I can't help you.
It was Julian Crane. Oh, God, stop with this. Mama, we did more than get involved, okay? We got married. And Mrs. Julian Crane.
And I'm not going to watch you jeopardize your life and your health and that of your baby as well.
What are you saying, Mama?
Ethan, he must be told. He must be told that you are carrying... that
You were pregnant with Julian's baby. I cannot take this anymore. It has to come out.
Well, okay. Okay. Listen, nothing is that bad.
I'm afraid you're wrong.
Okay, that's enough. Your mother is too upset to talk right now, Louise. It's not good for her.
But Eve, I need to tell...
You need to come to the kitchen with me and calm down. You'll excuse us, won't you, Louise?
Yeah, okay. Come on, look, I'll be here if you need to talk, right? Everything's gonna be okay.
No, Mijo. Nothing will ever be okay again.
Dear God. Teresa, enjoy this while you can, because your mother seems determined to tell Ethan and everyone else that you're pregnant with Julian Grant's baby.
There's no need to be so harsh, dear. You misunderstood what I was saying to Harper entirely.
Really?
Oh, absolutely. Of course I want to marry you. It's true, there was a moment there where I considered a brief delay, but I realized I just couldn't stand the wait. I live for the moment that you're my lawful wedded wife.
Good answer. Now give your sweet little bride a sweet little kiss.
Mwah!
Oh, we are going to be so happy. And I promise you, you are not going to regret the decision you just made.
Oh, I have one little question for you, my little prickly pear. You wouldn't really turn me in for killing Sheridan, would you?
Let's put it this way. I don't think you really want to know what I do. But remember that I will always keep this little bit of information in a very safe place, ready to use if I need it.
On the other hand, maybe you're making too much out of this. Maybe Brian's just nervous about the weather he'll run into between here and Harmony. Not to mention the triangle.
Doc, Brian is not worried about the Bermuda Triangle. He has captained all kinds of boats through the worst kinds of weather, and he's never been afraid of the elements. You know, come to think of it, I have never seen Brian show fear for anything. That is until now. There is something about this trip to Harmony that's got him all shaken up.
Well, maybe Brian will back out again. Tell Diana he changed his mind.
No, he'll go. He'll go through the fires of hell for Diana.
So is that it? You don't want to go to Harmony now? I mean, I know that you didn't want to go before and you changed your mind only because of me.
Diana.
Just let me finish. I would feel terrible if I pressured you into doing something that you weren't up for.
You don't know what you're talking about. Sailing this boat back to New England's just another gig for me. And Lord knows I could use the money. Liz says the lady that owns a boat, she's paying pretty good.
You're not just saying that to make me feel better.
I have to take care of me too, Diana. Being out on the ocean, getting away from here for a while, would be a good thing. I'm looking forward to it.
You sure could have fooled me. Wait a minute. I know why you've been going back and forth on this. I know why you don't want to go to Harmony.
Hey, Luis, take it easy, man, all right? Look, listen to me. If there's anybody who can calm your mom down, it's definitely Dr. Russell.
Well, I hope you're right. Yeah, it's just all my life. Pilar's been the one person I could count on at the Crane Mansion to be strong and hold things together. No offense, Mother.
None taken.
No, Ethan's right. Now, she's never been one to break down, especially in front of people. Whenever we needed strength, she was always the one we turned to. Isn't that right, Teresa?
Yes.
Even when Papa disappeared and then Antonio soon thereafter, she always kept the pain on the inside so the rest of us wouldn't fall apart.
That's why I feel very certain that this has to be something very, very personal. And knowing Pilar as long and as well as I do, I'm just sure it has something to do with one of her children. I just wonder which one.
I know what you're going through, Pilar. Because Julian took advantage of you when you were young. Yes. I grant you. You know better than most what a pig that man is. But you can't possibly understand what it feels like to have a daughter pregnant by him. To think that his genes will live within my own grandchild. You're right, Pilar. I can only imagine. My poor girl. My poor baby. Pregnant by a man who thinks that money and power are more important than human life. Julian not only stole her innocence, Eve, he stole all her dreams for the future. You know, Pilar, you mustn't despair like this. Things have a way of working out. Not this. No, not this. Ethan told Teresa that if she ever kept anything from him again, he would leave her for good. I know. So when you go out there and tell Ethan that Teresa is pregnant with Julian's child, what do you think is going to happen? I don't know. All I know is that my daughter is too afraid to be honest with the man she loves. And these lies, they've got to stop. Lies that would cause misery and pain. Now, Ethan needs to know the truth, and I have to tell him.
Well, whatever has Pilar so shaken up clearly has to do with one of her children. I mean, she would never worry this way about herself.
Well, it's not me. She knows I'm still hurting because of Sheridan, but I'm getting by.
Maybe Miguel?
I don't think so. Miguel's fine. Sure, he's got a lot of stuff on his plate for a kid his age, but I think he's okay. Besides, I'd know if something was wrong, because he usually confides in me sooner or later.
What about your sister Paloma?
Just talked to her the other day. My ma did too. She's doing great.
Well, what about your older brother? You know, the one who took off after your father disappeared.
Oh, Antonio? Yeah. Well, as far as I'm concerned, he's no longer a member of this family. He ran out on all of us when my ma needed him most. I'm sure he's not the source of this problem. My ma would have told me if she'd have talked to him. And frankly, I don't think we'll ever hear from him again.
Well, then who could it be?
Well, you've got one thing right. Most important thing to her are her children. The only thing that could shake her up this bad would be if it involves one of us.
It's time for all the secrets to end, once and for all. Pilar, wait. You are not going to change my mind, Eve. But you are not thinking clearly. You haven't even had time to get over the shock of learning that your daughter is pregnant. I don't blame you, but I don't want you to, in the heat of the moment, say something that you're going to regret saying later. But if I don't fix it, who will? This is all my fault. What are you talking about? You had nothing to do with Julian getting Teresa pregnant. If you want to blame anyone, blame him. You know he's not worth the dirt under your feet. I know that. I've always known that. Which is why I should have never let Teresa get anywhere near him. I should have never let her go work for Ivy in the Crane Mansion. A better mother would have kept her far away from all the Cranes. Oh, don't you ever say that you're not a good mother. You are the best mother that I know. And Teresa, she's wonderful, but she's a stubborn, willful young woman. I don't think that there's anything that you could have said or done to keep her away from that mansion when she got her heart set on Ethan. And I'm supposed to protect her, Eve. Honey, you try. That's all that a parent can do. Teresa's young. But in the eyes of the law, she is an adult. She has the right to make her own decisions. And mistakes. And how could you know that Teresa was going to chase Julian down to Bermuda? And even if you did, I don't see that you could have done anything about it. This is not your fault, Pilar.
What's happened to my family? Martin and I had so many dreams. For our children, for us, for all of us. And every single one of them has fallen through. Starting the day Martin disappeared.
Don't do this to yourself, Pilar.
Not long after Martin vanished, Antonio left and never came back. I had to send my Paloma away to live with my sister because I couldn't afford to support all my children. It tore me to pieces. To send my daughter away, I didn't want to break up the family anymore. But I did. What I thought was best.
No one blames you, sweetheart.
And now Luis, my strong, brave Luis, has lost a woman he loves. And Teresa, God help Teresa for what's happened to her. Nothing of what Martin and I dreamed of came true. None of it. And I still light candles for him every night. And for Antonio. Praying, hoping that someday, somehow, dear God, somehow my family will be brought back together.
Hey, aren't you listening to me? I am good to go wherever the pay is decent. Be it Harmony, Paris, wherever.
It won't work, Brian. I can see right through you. You don't want to sail to Harmony because you're afraid of how it will affect me.
You know, we've already been through this.
I didn't believe you then, and I don't believe you now. You're afraid of how I will react being out at sea for such a long time after you found me there almost drowned, and I don't blame you after the way I freaked out the last time.
Oh, can you blame me for trying to protect you? I mean, I don't know what happened to you out there at sea, but before I pulled you out of the water, something very traumatic must have happened.
But I'm fine now. I honestly don't think I will have a problem out on that boat, so you don't have to worry.
It's soon for you to be thinking about a long sail like that. I'm telling you, it could get rough out there.
But I won't be alone. I mean, I'll be in very capable hands. Please, Brian, please don't say no. I'm so desperate to go to Harmony to see if it's at all familiar.
Yeah, well, you say that now. But, I mean, what happens when we get out in the middle of the ocean? What if a storm comes up?
I know. I have a way to prove to you that I will be all right.
Oh, yeah, what's that?
A trial run. We'll take a practice sail so that you can see that I will be fine. I mean, that's fair, isn't it?
Yeah, I guess.
Thank you, Brian. I mean, you'll see that I will be just fine, and we'll be able to sail to Harmony without any problems.
So, Master of the Universe, what are you going to do now?
Lose the sarcasm, Harper, or lose the job you're paid to help me.
I don't know if I can bail you out of this one, Julian. It seems Rebecca Hotchkiss has you right where she wants you.
I have ears. I know what the woman said. Why did I ever let her find out that Father ordered me to have my sister killed? I must have been out of my mind.
If you'll forgive me, sir, I don't believe it was your mind that was controlling your actions at that point.
Well, whatever, it's done. Looks like I'm going to have to marry Rebecca. But who says it has to be right away? I'll just stall her. I'll drag my feet as long as I can. And be damned if I'm going to let her lasso me with a marital noose before I've had a shot at bachelorhood.
I don't know. She seemed bound and determined to be the next Mrs. Julian Crane immediately. And she doesn't strike me as a woman that could easily be put off.
I'll take care of Rebecca. She's persistent, but she's no match for me. I'm a free man. I intend to make the most of it.
Straighten your tie, honey. I want you to look good for the wedding photo.
What?
Well, it's all arranged. I have the license, and this man here is qualified to marry us. So we are going to become husband and wife right now. Oh, Harper, you can be the best man.
Oh, congratulations, Julian. It seems this is your wedding day.
Where'd Brian go?
This room. He wants to check out the weather.
Sounds like he's getting ready to take that trip you've been hankering for.
Oh, not exactly. He's worried that I'll have a bad reaction to a long spell out at sea. So I made him a deal. We'll take a practice sail, and if I do all right, then he'll take me all the way to Harmony.
I see.
I don't know why it is so important for me to visit Harmony, but it is. I have this hunch that something there will jog my memory.
I hope so. For your sake, honey.
I can't stop thinking about that man that called earlier.
Oh, the guy that was staying here that went back to Harmony?
Yeah, I mean, even though the connection was staticky, there's just something familiar about his voice.
Now, like I said, he's looking forward to seeing both you and Brian when you get there. So I certainly hope it comes to pass.
Me too.
So, when are you and Brian heading out on this practice sail?
As soon as he gets an all clear on the weather.
Well, where are you sneaking off to, young lady?
If you don't mind, I need a moment alone. I'm worried about Mama.
Aren't we all? The more I think about it, the more convinced I am that it has to have something to do with one of her children. Huh. But Luis is certain it's not him or Miguel or Paloma. And seeing as how no one has heard from Antonio for years, well, let's see, that only leaves, you.
You don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, but I think I do. Obviously, all of your secrets have come home to roost, but instead of landing on your shoulders where they belong, they have landed on your mother. She loves you to pieces, Teresa. And even she can't take your lies and deceptions any longer. Don't you feel the least bit guilty about what you are doing to her?
Just stop it and leave me alone.
Oh. No, because I am not through. You know what amazes me about you, Teresa? Is that your lies don't seem to affect you. They just roll off your back. But the people close to you, the people who love you, like your mother and Ethan, they're the ones who get hurt. Well, I knew you were still hiding something, and it's obvious that your mother intends to tell Ethan. Good. Then he'll know that I was right about you all along.
When I lost Martin and then Antonio, I didn't think my heart could break anymore. I was wrong. Because at this moment, it's shattering into more pieces than I knew it had.
I'm so sorry, Pilar. I know what it's like to want the best for your children. But still, you cannot blame what happened to Teresa on yourself.
I don't know about that. But it doesn't matter. If she can't bring herself to do right by telling the truth, then I will have to do it for her. Ethan loves my daughter, and he deserves to know that she is carrying Julian's child.
Look, I'm sorry to interrupt. Mama, everyone's really worried about you.
I'll be all right, Neil.
I want to believe that, but
You know, it's kind of tough because I don't even know what's got you so upset in the first place. Come on. Come on, come on. And you always taught us not to keep things on the inside. And whatever it is that's bothering us, it's better to get them out.
I still believe that.
And you need to level with all of us. Just tell us what it is that's got you so upset.
Yes. That's what I intend to do. I want to get this off my chest once and for all.
The most sacred of commitments between a man and a woman,
Could you hurry this up? We don't have all night.
if that's what you want.
Are you sure you wouldn't rather do this in a more formal ceremony, perhaps next month?
Just do it.
By the power vested in me, I pronounce you husband and wife.
Cookie! Oh my goodness. I remember.
Flor, thank goodness. We were all so worried about you.
I'm sorry to have caused everyone so much concern.
Don't be silly. You mean the world to all of us.
Yeah, I'll second that. I mean, is there anything that we can do to make you feel better?
No, thanks, Chad.
Then you're okay now?
I feel calmer than I did a little bit ago.
Mama, you know, maybe you should lie down. You know, get some rest.
No, Teresita. There's something I must say first. Something I feel strongly that Ethan needs to know.